Gotta turn on the mic first and then you can hear me. Thank you for coming to another episode of UHS Presents, and with me as per the usual is Lois to my Clark, Lori Foster. Hi, Lori. Wow, that's just like and I didn't even it out. That was just right there.
That was it's a good start to the new year, right?
Sure. I mean, good start to the new year, and I forgot to turn on the mic before I started talking, and it's fine. Everything's fine. It's gonna be fine, everybody. It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be a good year.
Tonight's gonna be. I heard that song while I was shopping today. Let me tell you guys about my shopping trip. Yes. I got backed into by a motherfucking van. This is old Karen bitch starts backing into me, and I thump into the side, I just got shoved by the back of the van and kind of stumbled sideways, and then I was like, what the fuck? And then I thought, and then she stopped, so I thought, okay, I can, it's safe to go again, right? No, she starts backing up again and goes to hit me again, so I like bam, bam on the back of her car, and then she like looks out and she gives me a bitchy face. I'm like, bitch, you just tried to run me over because you didn't look. And that's, like I said, that's not the first time that's happened to me either. And then I got yelled at in a different parking lot for taking someone's space, which I don't know if you guys know this, but the spots at grocery stores generally don't belong to anybody.
They don't have names on them.
There's some that are earmarked for for like disabled spots and veterans and moms and moms to be. Like there's some that have those, and then there's the ones in front that are for if you bought your shit online and they're just going to deliver it to your car.
Sure.
But that wasn't one of those spots. I was waiting with my car in the lane for this other car to back out, and then I was like, I pulled into that spot, and then this dude runs up to me and like starts yelling at me that I stole their spot. And I was like, you even what? I don't
understand.
I didn't even have a good response to it because I'm like, what are you fucking stupid? Seriously. That's
right. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I was like, how long have you lived on planet Earth, my friend? Because that is not your spot. That belongs to the conglomerate that owns Hy-Vee.
Right. Just yeah.
And I understand, like, I spent so much time just waiting in line to check out my shit. But I understand that because there's a labor shortage, which is not real because they are deliberately, like these corporations, I know that they're deliberately not hiring people so that they can say nobody wants to work and still save money and shit and not have to pay people more. And then, they're shocked when the people who are currently working there just are like, you know what, fuck you, and leave and quit.
Oh yeah.
But whatever. So,
but you're okay?
I'm okay. I'm just like, I'm still like, I don't know. The weather is so weird that I'm just like either always really roasting hot or freezing cold. And today it was like 15 degrees out, so I bundled up. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be cold. Bundled up. Halfway through the shopping errand trip stuff, I'm like, I am boiling. And it
Yeah.
was, like the back of my neck is all slick and yeah, it's like I had to take off my jacket. And then I left the jacket in the car, so that's probably gonna bite me in the ass.
Yeah, it's been fluctuating here by like 20 degrees from one day to the next. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. But climate change is a myth, you guys. Climate change is not real.
And
No.
I was just talking to Moana today, actually. She said they got 13 inches of snow, and I think she's in Maryland. Like,
Yeah, she I saw a Facebook post from her and I was like, are you shitting me?
yeah.
That's not usually, they don't usually get that stuff, right?
No, not that, not snow like that. Stein mentions Don't Look Up. I got him to watch that. I don't know if you've watched it yet, but it's
I have to watch it yet. I keep forgetting, like we still haven't finished Hawkeye yet. Like it's all out and we still haven't finished it.
eh.
And we always like we sit down at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we're like, what do you want to watch? And then I'm like, oh, I've got this list of movies, and there's no way we can watch it at 8 o'clock because I can't sit here for 2 hours and watch a movie at 8 o'clock at night. I just can't. So
Yeah.
I'm an idiot, basically.
Yeah, heavily recommend it. Heavily. Like it's really surprising.
Yeah, you're not the only one who's told me that too. So I'm like, I have to watch it. I have to watch it.
Yeah, I'm very pleased that they got big stars kind of promoting the message in the movie because it's a really important one. It's I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's definitely watch it. It represents everything from the last couple of years and everything going wrong right now with our society. So it's really worth a watch.
I got that idea from a couple other people who were telling me about it, and how I think Katie was telling me. So she's like, "You have to watch it." And my dad and his middle-aged buddy watched it with us, and they didn't understand. And I was like, "What do you mean they didn't understand?"
Oh, I bet they didn't.
Watch it. He was like,
"Yep."
Okay. So yeah, I need to get that watched so that I can understand what everybody's talking about.
It's not a movie for boomers. Not definitely not.
Nice.
Most boomers anyway.
So yeah, I see Astayan and Rice are both commenting. So yeah, thanks for coming, guys. And Rice said it's been like 10 to 20 degrees where I'm at, and I live in Wisconsin, and it's been like one day it'll be 30, and the next day it'll be like below 0, and then it'll be fucking 70, like t-shirts and shorts, and my body, like my body's all broken and fucked up anyway. Like I have a thyroid disorder, which is like the thyroid is kind of like the thermostat of your body too. That's, I assume, because like I used to be cold all the time, but yeah, so fucking bullshit, man. And I don't know. I'm always either roasting hot. Oh, right. Rice said in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yeah. 10 to 20 degrees seems weird. I don't know about Albuquerque, but I remember my family got stuck in a blizzard there a few years ago in New Mexico, which was weird, apparently. But we just talk about nothing today. Let's not talk about comics at all. No comics. No comics.
Well, I guess I could give before we bring John on, I could give like a real quick summary of what's going on with all of our shit.
We do that, don't we? I don't have. See, usually I have like that nice my little Cliff's notes for the shows right up, and I don't have anything up to date. You guys, like I showed up, and that's really. I hope that you're impressed that even happened.
You got backed into by a van. I feel like you have an excuse.
Yeah, I was like, I can exaggerate. Like somebody tried to run me over.
Yeah, it's not okay.
They were stupid, but come on.
It's not okay.
Yeah. Let's hear about the latest with our studio, our beloved little studio here.
Okay, so let me go down the list. So Artavy and Richardson is completely fulfilled except for about 30 backers. Those backers are basically the ones who got remarks or signed hardcovers, because we got the hardcovers super late. Both printers like fucked up or were late. So Ian basically just got his hardcovers like a week or two ago, and then of course it was Christmas. So
Right.
he's working hard to do the remarks and catch up. And then for the US backers, he has to ship them to me, and I have to ship them to the backers because of, the ridiculous shipping. So you guys, that should be completely done this month. Everyone should have their books. Miss Medusa this weekend, Eric and I packed up like 250 packages for Miss Medusa. So, and those will be going out today, tomorrow, the next day. We'll hopefully get
Yeah,
almost
your
everything
post
done this
office
week.
must hate you guys so much.
It's crazy.
Every time they see you guys coming, they're just like, "Oh, Jesus Christ."
Well, they know us now, at least. Like they know that we're and then Power Broker is, of course, we sent it to the printer. There's paper shortages, so we're on the list of getting it printed as soon as possible. We got the money today for Power Broker, so we'll be ordering the rest of the stuff. So everything's in progress. Elsewhere Volume 3, John and I have been looking over the entries, and we'll talk about that when we bring him on too. But we'll be running that Kickstarter campaign in February. So that'll be our first campaign of 2022. I keep thinking it's 2023. Like, dude, it's not. My brain is not.
I'd be fine with skipping over 2022 at this point. I mean, the past 2 years fucking the past like 6 years fucking sucked. But I'd be fine with skipping over one more because I'm like, it can't be that much better than the last. I don't remember the last time we had a year that I wasn't like, this fucking sucks. I mean, before 2016 at least.
Yeah.
But
so I think that's everything important. I guess we can bring John on. We'll talk about the surgeon today. In case you guys didn't know, we will be giving away the Surgeon issue 1 as our free shit, and there might be some surprise free shit later during the episode. So pay attention. Stay tuned. Free shit.
I love surprise shit. Yeah. Let's bring on John. I don't think John really needs an introduction here. Like, between the fact that he's been a unlikely hero forever and that he's been here on the show several times now. So, like, y'all just, as Stein said, surprise shit will plague you in your later years. That's what I'm talking about. Like, corn is your enemy when you turn 50, is it not? All right. Let's bring on John. It looks like he's ready to go.
Hey.
Hi, John. Woohoo!
Hey,
John, you can always introduce yourself if you want.
I mean, y'all know who I am. Am I causing an echo? I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, y'all know who I am. Sarah's gone. So I wrote The Surgeon. I wrote Up from the Skies. I wrote Hot Brass, Pharaoh's Gold, and Jonesy and Dr. Long. So we were talking about giving away some Surgeon #1 today. Am I right?
Yeah. So I was hoping we would talk about the Surgeon 2 because, or as well, I should say, because the Surgeon 5 we're going to be working on that soon. So I thought we'd talk about. Yeah.
I'm eager to get it done. We got two scripted issues left, and this has been a long time coming for me. This has been a couple of years, just between the time that I had a script and y'all got to work on it. It's been a long time coming. I'm ready to pinch this one off.
Yes. No, I'm excited. And like I haven't mentioned it like really publicly yet, but we have submitted the Surgeon to Diamond, so that we can finally officially get it into comic book stores. I haven't heard back from them yet, probably because it's the holidays, and they said to expect like a 6 to 8 week wait time. But
well,
like
they don't care about us or you or anybody else. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we love Diamond. We want. But yeah, we're unfortunately trying to become mainstream because so far our attempts at retailer catalogs have not been fruitful.
Yeah. Well, the surgeon has just been, like it's a nice little self-contained arc within this 1 through 6, but then, I wrote Dr. Hanover, she has a lot of really specific influences, but one of them is Conan or Red Sonja. Like Conan, he was a king, he was a barbarian, he was a slave, he was a pirate, he was a thief. Conan did everything. You can just jump around in time and say, like, okay, so here's King Conan, but then, also here's Pirate Conan. And I wanted Dr. Hanover to have some of that freedom. When we get to the end of chapter 6, she's in a unique position to, I'll go ahead and spoil it. She's still alive. So she's in a unique position
hey.
to,
we can be optimistic about that.
Yeah, to continue living.
Yeah, there's a lot of room for, like, issue 6 is insane. Like, it just
So yeah, each chapter I've had a little name for. Turtle Island was the first one. The second one was the siege, and that's what happens. Chapter 6 is called Blood because it's going to be spilled. There's some revenge. I love that bit from Cruella. Anyway, mustache, much to avenge, revenge, and destroy. And there's some of that.
Yeah, and I just reread 5 and 6, like, just as a refresher, like last month or something, and I was like, oh shit, like, I forgot about this. This shit goes crazy, like, it's crazy, and then there's so much room for other crazy shit to happen. So
I'm not sure that I've seen or I've read past 4 at this point, because I'm behind. I was like,
you're where
fucked me up too. I was like, I can't handle it now.
You're where, like, broadly speaking, people should be. My boss gets to be, a little further along. I get to be a little further along. We got NDAs, man. We can't. I don't think we did. You can read it, Sarah. I'll send you the scripts.
I've read. Yeah. I've signed NDAs, but I don't know if I have for surgeons. So yeah, I just.
Yeah,
well,
no, we can send you those so you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I signed a generic one for Lori that was like, if you say anything to anybody about anything that hasn't been released yet, I will kill you.
Then we will kill you and all your family.
And I agreed to be killed by signing on the line and stuff. So I mean, I suppose I'm bound by anything. It's having such a time right now.
I don't know if you wanted to talk about the Elsewhere 3 entries too, John, and like how that's been, or how you feel about them.
How do I feel about them? I feel pretty good about them. I'm pretty excited about this one. So, last time we did the experiment of, making a huge book. And it was great. I don't, there wasn't a page I regret. I loved everything that went into it. And I think we're focusing a little smaller this time, being a little smarter. Well, not smarter, because everything we did last time was a great idea. Just being a little more, take it back to that first size of about 150-ish, 200-ish pages. And one of the things that I really wanted Elsewhere to be was the wild breadth and depth of what comics can do, in terms of style, in terms of themes, in terms of audience, and I think we pretty much managed to get that with Elsewhere every time, and this time it's there's a few slam dunks in there. I'm really happy with it. Look at me, yeah. I'm thrilled.
Yeah. You seem thrilled.
You guys, my copy or my story is like I still haven't sent it because I still haven't finished it because I had to do finals crap first.
There's some interesting work being done about the neuropsychology of all of our Zoom conversations, allowing us to see ourselves on the screen. So we see ourselves when we talk. So I catch those moments where I'm like, look at me, I'm thrilled.
Right. Like, oh wait, that's what my face looks like right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
She read
did
my face.
notice, and I wonder if it's like a product of the last 2 years, but I noticed that, why is my camera out of focus? There we go. I noticed that we have a higher percentage of horror entries than usual.
Horrors? What? I'm listening again.
And I'm wondering if that's,
Couldn't pass.
because everyone's had a shit time.
Yeah.
They're writing scary stories.
Yeah, maybe there's some neuropsychology there too. Like
Mhm.
when everything sucks, let's write horror stories.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting mix.
Yeah, and honestly, Lori, I haven't looked at the stuff that you sent me this weekend or whenever, so I'm kind of slacking in that regard. But this is moving along pretty well. The cool thing about this project too is that, like, by the time we figure out exactly which ones we want in, and we tell everybody, then like it's not done, but it's close to done at that point. Like it's not a whole ton of work from there. I think that the bulk of the work is reading and figuring it out. Well,
Yeah.
and then Lori, you just work harder than anybody else all the time. So like I know once I send it to you, you do a whole ton of stuff. But
Well, I mean, the nice thing with Elsewhere is that usually people have set up pages and they're pretty much ready. So outside of like designing
yeah,
the cover and the extras, which now we have kind of a template, so that's become less work. It's not bad, and it's just fun to read through everything.
yeah, and also one of the things that puts us in a weird position a lot of times with our Kickstarter projects is waiting for somebody who had a cold and didn't get to finish the letters or the inks or whatever. Like there's none of that. It's done. We just need to get the high res files and put them in the file. Put the files in the file.
Yes. Yeah, there's and this volume, like, and as we've been going, I feel like we've been streamlining it too, in terms of people getting their submissions properly and getting us their team names and
Yeah.
yeah.
And if anybody is watching, really do send it as one PDF and not like 7 individual 25 megabyte TIFFs in a zipped folder that I got. But yeah, we are starting to get a process, right?
Yeah, I definitely prefer the PDFs. This time we had a new first. We had someone submit in a Google document.
Yeah, it was like a Google doc. It was actually like, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but it's a good one. Like,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
But how do you do that? Like,
I didn't even know you could do that. Like he imported each page into a different page in a Google document. I don't know.
Sure.
Seems like that would work. That would be, I don't know, bad. I'm sure.
Down your elbow to get to your aspect.
Right. Like he could just export that Google document as a PDF, which would save him time. Like, I don't understand. I don't.
God loves him. God loves him.
Yes. No, he's awesome. He's a great guy, and we're shitting.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Total fucking pro.
Yeah. He's gonna have multiple entries in this volume anyway, so like he knows we love him. But anyway.
Before you carry on, Rob Surrey is on YouTube, said, "Hey guys, nice to see ya." And Quentin Rushing on Facebook said, "Greetings." So hi, thanks for coming.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't get a chat window anymore. So if I'm not responding to a question that you ask, it's because I didn't see it.
Okay, we'll try to bring him up on the screen.
Yeah, for months now, Facebook especially has just been trash. Like none of the.
So I have a private chat window, but I don't have a like.
Oh, chat.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Kitty, bite her, take her out. Right there at the jugular.
That's the wrong cat to ask that stuff of. I mean, there's one that would definitely slit my throat in my sleep, but not this one.
No. If you want, Sarah, since it's about halfway, we can put up the link and the QR code for people for the free shit, and then we can talk more about the surgeon.
Yeah, when I was at Emerald City, it was really cool. Like, if I stay here in the the East Coast, the Southeast, within driving distance to the cons I go to, people kind of like have seen me before. Like, I'm not a complete stranger. But going out to the West Coast, I was, and nobody knew any of these books. It was really cool to like see people get excited about it.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Behold the QR code. You can scan that shit.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about the tickers.
That's okay. That's why we're a team.
Like, yeah, like we're gonna have we need to make more money so that we can hire like a professional team, and then all we have to do is sit in front of the camera and look cute, and we don't actually have to do any remember all this crap. So, but otherwise, yeah, that's what teammates are for.
So, I don't know. Are we talking now, or are we giving people a chance to scan?
Yeah, you can.
I want to hear for a minute now.
I want to hear about your sword fighting too, John.
Oh, yeah.
People are scanning their free shit.
Okay, that's so. When I wrote The Surgeon, I chose her weapon specifically because in the Tai Chi and Kung Fu that I train, that's my favorite. Like if I had to go into a post-apocalyptic situation, that's the one I'd want. It would be good for a lot of things. It's a tool. It's not just for killing. I feel comfortable with it. I kind of know how to use it, how it moves around. It's in another room. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared. And then I thought, so I chose her saber specifically for her character. And I think, Dirty Harry's 44 Magnum is part of his character. I think some characters have weapons that are every bit as much of their character as anything else. And so if one has a sword in the right hand, the left hand needs something, or it's for grabbing. So I chose the sword, and I chose the Arkansas toothpick. And before we got into chapter 3 with all the fight scenes, I actually spent a lot of time in my backyard training Kung Fu forms for these weapons, but now with one in my left hand, and I found all these great, like, oh, this one does this and this one does this kind of movements, and that drove Stan crazy when I was trying to dictate the fight choreography. But I feel like it paid off. But then what's really humbling is that in Tai Chi we'll take swords and we'll put on safety glasses and we'll kind of go slow and agree not to hurt each other. But there's that just doesn't have a whole lot of steam to it. So there's this community of people who practice HEMA, historic European martial arts. And what they're doing is taking manuscripts from the 1500s and 1600s, translating them, and they show the guys with swords fighting each other and practicing that. And I found a group here in Athens that does it, and it's humbling. Like I thought I'd be able to go in there and like I've handled swords, I've swung them, I know how to cut with them, but it's humbling when you think you're about to bust a move and all of a sudden you're kind of impaled on somebody's sword tip. And you're like, got it. That was a mistake. I love it. It's great exercise, and it's it's an interesting and cool group of people. I say this with respect affection and admiration. It's a bunch of, like Renaissance fair nerds, but they're like great with swords. They're better than me. It pisses me off a little bit.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah, it's super cool. And there's a reasonable level of safety. Like standard fencing gear is actually a lot sturdier than you would think. That screen mask. I was working with somebody this evening, and we were doing quarterstaff, and I popped her right in the mask, and nobody got hurt. But it was a pretty stout little, like they would have broken a nose or put an eye out. It was fun.
Yeah.
So we get to, hey, I see Emerald Green Wolverine. I see a comment from somebody. How did that happen?
That's if we
I just popped that up
we
for
put it
you.
up on the screen.
Right.
We have to choose to do that, though. Yeah.
Yeah, SCA. That's apparently this. So like I was in college and there was a Society for Creative Anachronism, but I didn't. I had joints to smoke. I didn't have time for that. I had classes to fail. Come on now. So yeah, I never got into it in those days, but like these guys have, all graduated from college and they're in their 30s and they have money to spend on swords. Those are good friends to have.
That's awesome. So, do you think it'll affect like the future issues of the Surgeon? Like it'll
like the fight choreography. So I was thinking about that, and chapter 5 is not so big, not so much in terms of big battle. Chapter 6 has a few, but I think it might. And a lot of the stuff that happens in chapter 6 is when people are sick and exhausted and just barely going on survival mode. So a lot of that's kind of primitive. And that's not spoilery, is it? I feel like Zach is frowning on me for giving away too much.
No. We're doing okay.
Mentioned in the first couple of chapters that we have released and that everybody's been able to read. Like you have to assume that everybody's getting a little tired by now.
Yeah. There's
that's not really spoilery.
The apocalypse would wear on one.
Yeah.
I mean, like we know this shit's been going on for quite some time before we actually enter the story, so everybody's gonna be tired.
Yeah.
Particularly our main character.
Everybody is tired. Oh, and everybody's tired. I can't wait for chapter 6. And that's I think that's my favorite one of the whole lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think anyone's ready for 6.
All right, so chapter 1, like we're giving it away for free today, right? And
yes.
Like it's hard for me to kind of put myself in the mind of somebody who hasn't read it yet.
Right.
Yeah, like how do we describe it? I always say it's kind of one of those Ronin samurai / spaghetti western stories, the man with no name kind of archetype. The doctor is probably better at killing than she is at saving people at this point. And it's 15 years after kind of a punctuation mark that we would call the true end of happy, contented, prosperous life on the surface. And then there's rich people who live underground where the weather isn't so bad and the radiation's not so bad. But by that point, I've started rambling, and then
I'm trying to remember how much of the underground stuff we've
almost none.
Almost nothing. But it was mentioned in number 1.
It exists as a mention in number 1, and people will allude to it in their talking, like if you're going to say somebody's a dick for chickening out and leaving everybody behind. You would compare them to the rich people who went underground.
That could
But
be a spin-off series.
oh yeah. I mean,
there has to be some shit going down in the underground bunkers too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that could be its own. That could be its own series. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe half of Chapter 6 takes place underground. No, not half. Half of it takes place near the gate to go underground.
Yeah.
So we are going to get at least a taste of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And there's the people who went underground. They have some. Imagine 15 years of the worst rich people having nobody tell them no for 15 years and just tons of money. And what would that devolve into? So like people who are not rich have devolved into something above ground, and the people who were rich have turned into something really, really weird and bad down underground. We're just about to peel that open and take a look. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, when you say like, what do you think would happen of 15 years of entitled spoiled brats never being told no? I mean,
yeah.
I can't imagine anything good.
Yeah. And that, like one of my things when I was talking to Zach about this in the early days about how we wanted to draw them, it's like, no, everybody can afford plastic surgery. Right? So there are there's no broken noses. There's no pattern baldness. There's, everybody is beautiful, but
everybody has great tits.
Yeah.
Right. Just terrifying.
Yeah. So, giving away Chapter 1, I almost feel guilty about Chapter 1 because there's only just a little bit of action. Chapters 2 and 3 are chock full, and then 4, 5, and 6 are like, kind of dealing with the aftermath of all that action. But Chapter 1 is this. I don't know. It's like world building. It's character building. It's there's not as much fighting, but I feel like it's still. It's one of my favorite stories that I've told. Like The Surgeon itself is one of my favorite stories I've told. But I really like Chapter 1. I really like Chapter 6 a lot. And we kind of build this as an action adventure kind of story, but I feel like Chapter 1 is just like tension about to bust, and then it does, right? Like by the end of the book, it has kind of exploded. What's that?
I said what I like about Chapter 1 is that you do a good job of setting it up. Like Zach with the art and you with the story did a good job of setting it up so that we understand what everybody involved in this upcoming, in the fighting in Chapter 2 and 3, what they all have to lose. Like when we get to Chapter 2, we know what they're gonna lose if they don't fight, and so it's like, there's not a lot of action as far as fighting goes, but there's a lot of like what it wouldn't be as exciting, and like it wouldn't be as tense going through the fight scenes if we didn't know that they could lose everything if they lose, it's just so that's what's so good about Chapter 1. Even though there isn't a lot of action in it, it's
thank you
action. Yeah, it's just not fighting.
That's what I was hoping for. I thank you. I feel like that was what I set out to do. I'm glad it worked.
Yeah.
And one of the great payoffs for me, like there was a long time between Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, but people had read chapter 1 and they were on me to finish chapter 2. I'm like, I've finished it. Like, back off, man. But like even though it wasn't as actiony or whatever, it was compelling enough to get people, on my case, trying to get chapter 2 and 3 out. Yeah, right, good.
Yeah, people got sucked in.
On my case.
People get sucked into the characters too. I think they're gonna want spin-offs with the Turtle Island characters too.
Yeah, and everybody in there is. Well, no, Hanover is the Clint Eastwood archetype. She's, but she's. A lot of the questions that you ask about the Clint Eastwood Man with No Name character and all those movies and all those Kurosawa movies is, what we know they had a funky past. We know that they came from violence and they come into this confidently. But I think we get more answers from Dr. Hanover than we did from those guys. Rather than just a squint and this chomping on a cigar, there's like, but about where we are now at the end of chapter 4, at the end of chapter 4, I think we have some answers about that.
Mm-hmm. I feel like chapter 5 we get into her personality a little more too.
Yeah.
But is she more than just surly? Because
yes,
all we really get from her so far is surly.
She's also 20.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Multifaceted. Very diverse personality.
But like also not particularly confident about it. Like, it's possible she's kind of like almost looking for love at that point, but I don't know. One wonders. Like, by the end of Act 3, in chapter 4, I think she might be looking for love. But I guess we'll just have to get there to find out.
Yeah.
You're giving side eye, and it looks like you're giving side eye to me, but I know who you're actually looking at.
No, Eric. Well, Eric's laughing because he knows what's going to happen. So he's laughing at what John's saying.
I have a pretty good idea of what you're talking about without having read anything from past chapter 4. So
I feel like you kind of foreshadowed it too, but people would have to pay like a lot of attention.
Yeah. No, I think this is one of those stories that when you get to chapter 6, you're going to be like, oh wait, fuck, I got to go back and
yes,
look it all back up. And that's always something that I find rewarding as an audience member in a book or in a movie or a comic is that you get to the end and you're like, wait, this was building the whole time. Go back and look for the clues.
Yes, I prefer that than like a Now You See Me situation where they just exposition dump for the last 15 minutes of the movie and explain everything to you.
Yeah.
You have to go back and be like, oh shit.
Listen, can we talk about The Matrix 4? If y'all,
I watched it.
It was a particularly egregious exposition dump by Neil Patrick Harris.
Mm-hmm.
This I don't think.
Ask you about what the 1/3 that you absolutely hated was, because I watched it and I was just like, and we probably don't want to get too spoilery on here because I'm sure, Bryce just said he hasn't seen it yet. So
yeah, I don't think I'm going to ruin anything. We know that Neil Patrick Harris is in it, right? Because we saw his picture at a red carpet event.
Right.
There's a moment where he and Neo are talking, and Neo, for whatever reason, is a captive audience. And Neil Patrick Harris goes on for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, I'm done. Somebody shoot something. Somebody dodge a bullet, please.
Yeah. You know what though? In comparison to, I don't remember if I think he was in number 3. He was the architect or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
his
yeah.
name was. It was an old white dude. And
Yeah.
he was like, I'm pretty sure his was like 20 minutes of that shit.
Oh, geez. Like, yeah.
Like
Oh,
just
yeah.
monotone.
Wasn't he? And just blah 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 about shit. And it's like you could have condensed this shit down into just a minute or two. You didn't have to talk as much.
Somebody needs to shoot something. Yeah.
The only thing I remember about that scene is that Will Ferrell did a version of it on SNL where he plays the architect and he just like for like 5 minutes he's just like concordantly. And like he just like he's just going on with like long words and he's making no sense at all. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much like
I'm gonna have to look that up when we're done here because that sounds amazing.
I love that SNL skit. It's fantastic.
Much to adventure, and destroy.
But yeah, exposition, there's some which you won't get in The Surgeon, guys. So you should read number 1 back in number 5 when we launch it into
free. Like you're giving away the free PDF. There's no reason not to read it. Yeah, there's no reason not to read it and get into it because come on, it's free.
And, you know, like if you read chapter 1.
The thing is, everybody that's watching already has read chapter 1.
And, you know, like either through these two or you go through the trouble to reach out to me directly. I'll hook you up with chapter 2. I don't care. But that's like, you know, you got to go through you got to get your chapter 1 first and have read it and then ask me.
Yeah, because why are you guys reading this shit?
Go to cons again. Like if there's ever going to be a convention again, then, you know, if y'all are nearby, you can always come and grab a physical copy too.
It's like we have no qualms like giving you guys shit for free because we're pretty confident that it's good enough that you'll want to buy it even though you've read it for free.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Go.
And reading it on the screen is never going to be as good as holding the book in your hands. Anyway, and Lori sniffs every single book that we make, and she can tell you that they all smell awesome. Which let's be real, they do. They smell really good when they're fresh.
I love the smell of books.
They just smell. They do those and
they're fresh.
That glossy paper, they just smell good. They do.
And you know what else smells good is old pulpy comics.
That's true.
You know what else smells good is books that have been in a house where somebody smoked cigars or a pipe. And have just a little bit of like okay tobacco, like that's a little, you know, like cigarette smokers. I don't like their books.
Yeah,
but a cigar or a pipe smoker, like their books smell good.
It's a good smell. Yeah.
Bryce said he feels lonely in the chat room, and I know
there's other people watching.
So, and you know, I know Steve's probably watching. He likes. He told me that he does like his night chores and stuff, and has the stream running, and listens to us talking while he's doing his chores. So he's always here listening to us, even if he's not commenting. So, but we see you, Bryce. I'm like I feel kind of fold. Oh my god, come fold my laundry. I fucking hate folding. Like I could put it into the washer and into the dryer, but then you want me to fold it, and I'm like, just no. 7 to 10 business days at least. Like I am not gonna fold that laundry. I mean, so I'll just like, and it always ends up unfolded anyway because of the way that I store it right now. Is like it's just a mess.
You know, you got the t-shirts that are nicely folded on top, and you're like, I don't want that one. I want the one that's underneath, so then it ends up.
Yeah, like how when you're sifting through trying to find your size at the store.
If I put a stack of laundry anywhere, the cats will go like this on it until it's not a pile anymore.
Oh my god,
Bob is all of it.
Sarah, your cat's like, not me. I'd never do that.
No, he would never do that. He just does everything else bad. No, Bob is big on like if I don't like I'll take the clothes out of the dryer and I'll drop them on the bed to do whatever with them, and he will burrow and you know he's a humongous cat, so he gets under there and clothes are just flipping off the top of the fucking pile, and I'm like, please stop.
Yeah.
Because he's just huge and he's trying to dig through it. And then, yeah, I just like, what are you doing? Why?
Chewie is like, I would never do that, Mom.
This idiot here.
I have video evidence of this cat screaming at the shower curtain and attacking it. So
yeah,
he's
and
crazy.
he likes to climb up into, and he actually got at least two others to don't lick me. He got two others to do that. Like they'll get into the bathtub and then they'll just go like this to the bathtub and then scream in it and then they'll run around in it. And I'm like, the downstairs neighbors must think that we do the weirdest shit in our bathtub because it's so loud. There's no way they can't hear it. There's no way. And it's also basically an amphitheater in there too. So like if a cat in there starts to scream, but this one especially starts to scream, you can hear it in the entire top floor here. So I'm sure they can hear it across this wall here too. There's another apartment behind me and I bet they can hear it too. So it's super fun, let me tell you. Don't let this innocent face that he's pulling here fool you. This is a bullshit face here. He's an asshole. He's a tiny little asshole.
He's like, no. I'm trying to think of what else, if we have anything else to talk about elsewhere in the surgeon that's like important.
I'm excited to sit down and run through the comments that you gave me and the feedback and have that we probably have one or two more conversations to have, and then I get to kind of put them in order and do the rough layout work.
I'm excited. I think as much work, especially like last year, I spent a lot more time helping with Elsewhere than I had before for the first issue. But I think it's my favorite time of year. Like Elsewhere season is my favorite season. Because it's just awesome. It's all the stories are so weird and none of them really like they all kind of they're their own thing, and they're all so much different. Like each story is so much different from the last. It's just I like
the real fun of it is like making a mixtape or a playlist. It's making one go into the other and having like 1, 2, 3 jabs and then a big haymaker or whatever. That's what really kind of turns me on about it is like, okay, these are the ones that broadly we've decided that we like. Now, how do we make it work?
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's where I brew a pot of coffee and nobody talks to me for a day, and then.
Yeah, because there's a lot of factors. There's the genre, and there's of course a black and white versus color. You don't want to put too much black and white in a row sometimes, and you want to have it like. John has a process with making it like a journey from beginning to end. So
yes, I will encourage the notion that I know what I'm doing and that I have a plan.
Right? Well, that's just what life is about, right? We're all just pretending we know what we're doing. That's just life.
Katie just showed up. Was hey Katie, and said Lori, she likes your hat. Katie likes your hat.
Hey,
it's a good hat.
You. I want to give a quick super special thanks to Katie. That's completely unrelated to anything, but she sent Sarah and I have to forward your stuff to you, Sarah. A big box of British.
I'm not going to thank you yet because I haven't tried them.
Of British and Scottish candies and goodies, and because the sweets there are so far superior to anything in the United States. Chocolate here is just literal garbage in comparison, and I'm gonna get so fat eating all of this stuff. It's so good. I'm trying to space it out, but it's so good that it's so good.
Yeah, Katie said that you told her that one of those chocolates in particular was the best one that you've ever had in your life. And I was like, that makes me, I have high hopes for it. Was like, well, I don't have any yet. I don't have it yet. So I was like, when it comes to me, I'll tell you, I'll give you an updated opinion of it. But I was like, I just Katie thinking about us, thinking of us and sending us that. And her dad's the one that picked out like like apparently she was buying all the like the regular candy, like our Kit Kat, like their version of the Kit Kats and the Hershey bars and stuff. She was getting us some of those, and apparently her dad was like, "You can't send them that trash," and he went out and got some good candies for us.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Lori, what's the best one?
So the best one I've tried so far, because there's a lot. Her dad included a box of, like she was saying, it's called Hotel Chocolat, and it's like this little tiny thing, and there's like 8 different chocolates, and they're all completely different flavors, and like every single one I've had is the best chocolate I've ever had. Like,
well, she said something about a cheesecake flavored one, and I was like, sold. Cheesecake's my fave.
Awesome.
yeah, there's and like they don't use artificial colors and like bullshit there, so it like everything tastes different. It's just better.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Katie. I love you. I'm
What a great present.
I was like, I have this pile of shit that I have. Like, it's just like this stack is for Katie, and this stack is for Lori, and this stack. Like, I was just like, I pile stuff up until I have enough that it justifies the shipping costs, especially now because shipping is fucking ridiculous. But
yeah.
I still have to mail stuff to Katie. I usually get when I think the last gift I got her was a subscription, like a Steam game or something, because that's like it's free to send. That's why. It's free to send. It's digital. I don't have to pay a shipping charge.
I wanted to mention too about Elsewhere, John, that it's so fun because John and I go through, like, he makes a spreadsheet and then we go back and forth on the spreadsheet, like leaving notes on it, and like it's just funny because like we're both trying to like keep it concise and communicate, but like on this spreadsheet, for example, like
concise comments. What?
so we have kind of like, we divide things, into different categories of like, if we think it's going to work out or it's not going to work out. And like there's one on the list currently that I remember very distinctly because John put it in the not going to work out section, and then his comment is just bees, and that's it. And I read it and I just laughed for like 4 minutes because I was like,
okay, I didn't care about seeing the spreadsheet until now, and now I'm like, you gotta send me the spreadsheet so I can see what the fuck you're talking about, because I want to know what story. Like I have access to the stories. I need to know. I can look at them, but how do I know which one you're talking about?
A glimmer.
Come on.
There's a glimpse into the pettiness and darkness in my heart in that comment. So, yeah. All right, Lori. Thanks for bringing that up.
I'm sorry. I just thought it was great.
No, I don't mind to take. That was funny. And it's cool because like you and I have worked together for a couple of years, and I think we know each other pretty well. Like even though we've never met, I think we know each other professionally pretty well, and how to communicate about that kind of stuff. And I think, it's fun. It's something that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy doing it with you.
Yeah, no, it's super fun, and like I can immediately tell when something irritates you by the way your comments are reading. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
so I have a
I
really good
have
time.
a difficult time hiding my irritation. But, maybe that's goal for 2023.
The trick is to just add more emojis.
Yeah, like the straight line, the
No.
smirky face.
No, but that's a thing though, like as a woman anyway, and I've heard other women talk about this, like oftentimes like we feel like if we just put like straight sentences with periods, we'll be viewed as bitchy, so we always put smiley faces and LOLs at the end of sentences, and I still do it. It's a really hard habit to break.
It is. I didn't even know I was doing it until the first time it got pointed out to me, and then I was like, well, I'm not going to stop doing it because I don't want people to think I'm bitchy, even though I am.
Well, and like Lori, when you let me know that I screwed something up, there's a ha LOL, and I'm like, you don't have to do that. I did screw something up. This is my fault. As one has in relationships when one works with somebody. Like there
Well,
are.
it's not just you. She does that to everybody. I mean,
It's
I know
ingrained. It's
she-
ingrained. Yeah,
yeah.
it's really
When
hard to
I
turn
get
that off.
edits and fixes from her, there's always like a LOL at the end of it, and it's like, yeah, it's okay. But I don't actually know. I didn't actually notice it until so pointed it out. Yeah.
So y'all who don't know me, I can't afford to be a comics writer as my day job. I'm a physical therapist assistant. I work with neurological cases. I have a teenage patient right now, and she's super overachiever. She's super stressed out. She's having some like neuroprocessing issues, and it's affecting her balance, and it's messing up her neck. 'Cause she's up here all the time. And it's really, really hard for me as 50-year-old, 6'2" white dude to get a tiny teenage woman to actually tell me what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like she apologizes for, like
Existing.
for being 3 minutes late, or for being sick, or for having trouble. And I don't know, like I'm mad at our culture for making that happen. I don't like that. I wish we didn't have to do that to
Yeah.
to everybody who doesn't have a Y chromosome. That's not cool, man.
Yeah, like that's like Lori, I don't know what your experience like if Canada's any better, worse, different with it, but like growing up here, I mean, nobody started pointing this shit out to us until I was well into my 20s and maybe even 30s. Nobody told us that this stuff, like, hey, you know how he said the exact same thing in the exact same way as you did, but you're the one who got called a bitch and he got called assertive and a leader. And that shit's fucked up. And I am like, yeah, it is. It is fucked up. What the hell? And I'm saying, I was like, I didn't notice it. Like all growing up, I didn't notice it, never noticed. But yeah, like then I look back and I'm like, holy shit, I got treated differently than my brothers, differently than my male classmates. I just like, you don't even notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
sorry.
about your patient, like I hope that you can work that out, like get her to open up a little bit at least.
Yeah. Well, all I can do is
he tells you.
All I can do is just be like that direct about it, like
right.
Like you don't have to do that around me.
Yeah.
It
sounds horrible, but it almost kind of sounds like she needs a female therapist just so that she doesn't have to worry about that, because she's worried about pissing you off because you're a guy. That's probably it. And it sucks because she shouldn't have to feel that way, and you shouldn't have to know that she feels that way. It's just bullshit.
And hopefully, like like sword fighting live stream, worry about that patient. That's kind of like that's my plan for this evening. I have.
I'm worried about that patient too. Like,
yeah.
I hope she improves.
I have kind of an approach that I want to take with her, and it's weird too, because like a lot of the stuff that we have to do is kind of hands-on. Like it's her neck. I need to be like in there working on her neck. So that's a strange like male, female, adult, kid, like authority, not authority, apologizes for everything, is telling you not to apologize for everything. I'm sorry,
Yeah, that's a mess. Right. That's
yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, this is why Daddy drinks.
Well, we could probably talk all night about that horse shit, but I suppose since we passed our hour mark, so we're there.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have to talk no more if we don't want to. But next week, Tony Clapper's coming. We're gonna talk about his new the FSK Kickstarter is running now.
5-star.
Yeah, 5-star. And we're gonna talk about that with Tony, and Yeah, that's it. I have nothing else to say. Like I was like, I don't have to explain it because it's pretty right there. So
All right.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Yes.
anybody who takes us up on the Surgeon Chapter 1 offer and then goes through the trouble to get word to me that you want Chapter 2, I'll get it to you.
yeah.
But I'm not just gonna like give it. I'm not just gonna throw it out there. You gotta ask for it.
There's got to be, and you got to
Well,
quiz and make sure that they actually did read.
Yeah, be a little bit assertive. Don't apologize. Take this opportunity to do something with it.
Katie was late to our show because she was watching Chat and Draw. Do you see that?
yep. Well, the 5-star launch is important.
Yes.
That is true. That is true.
I know Tony's been really anxious about it. Hopefully it goes really well.
I did some work. I did a couple of things for well, Tony didn't ask me. Mike was organizing all the graphics and crap, and he asked me for some help, and I did some of that stuff for him. And he was like asking me for it right during FSK day too. I was like, "Don't you have enough to worry about without worrying about getting graphics around?"
No, there's never enough to worry about.
And holy shit, yeah. And I don't understand how he can keep it all straight. Like, what does his like?
There's
What
always
is
plenty more to worry about.
coffee he drinks? You know. Like,
I'm
Hey,
pretty
I wanna
sure
show
Mike
you-
also has 5 kids.
right? Yeah. Holy crap!
I don't know. I think he's a superhero.
Oh man. So that right there is Zach's pencil work from Surgeon page 22. I got it framed not long ago.
Yeah.
So that's right there.
It's
In the
nice. I
office.
bet it looks really awesome up close.
Yeah. Well, that's as long as the cord goes.
Yeah, it's super blurry.
Sorry.
Technology.
That's
But-
the page where she gets the blade, right?
Yeah, that's the one. I hope that didn't cause any motion sickness for anybody.
Katie said we all of us indie streamers need to stop streaming at the same time. And to be fair, we almost always are just Monday nights. So like Mike is encroaching on our day because he's supposed to stream on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're blaming Mike.
It's all his fault.
Anyone watching,
That's the lot.
I did put the link for Mike's Kickstarter on the ticker. It's just fskgo.com. It's Kevin Terry is 5-star. It's fucking awesome. You should back it. I still need to back it. I am late.
I'll get around to it.
Um,
And I'm just like it's gonna take me the entire month to recover from last semester, and then I'll have to go back to the next semester. And
Oh, semesters
you're
are
almost
harsh.
done.
I am, but now I have to do another semester. Like I've got 2 more semesters left, not just one. So mad. I'm still mad. And I'm gonna bitch to you guys about it all this semester and probably all next semester too, because I wasn't supposed to have to do 2 more semesters. Okay.
It'll be okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry.
I Tweet clearly wants me to stop moving so that he can go to sleep. So look at that shit.
Look at his
The
face.
stink eye there. That was what a dick.
All right. Well, I guess we can let everybody go.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, John, for
Thank you.
coming.
Grab your free surgeon.
Yes, don't forget to go get your free shit.
I wish you would.
And then if you read that and you like it, then you hit John up to get issue 2. I mean, it ain't gonna get better than that. So
That's double the free shit.
double shit. That doesn't sound good anymore. It sounds like a bad thing.
It's all
They
right.
say double shit.
It happens sometimes. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just I'm gonna turn this shit off before I say something really dumb. So thank you everybody
Thank
for
you,
joining
guys.
us. Have a wonderful evening and we'll see you next week. Stay super. Good night.